Hello and welcome to Cardboard Alchemy stream. I'm Peter Vaughan with Cardboard Alchemy. This is a Friday, or whenever you're watching this. This is also after having survived Endgame on Andromeda's Edge Genesis. I don't know if you were there with us, but we just got out of a big campaign, and with all of your help, we funded another board game project. I'm so glad to see all of you. I'm so it's been a whirlwind of a week. We just like that was, if anyone was joining us for that end game, it was 26 hours. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. Thank you for saying that. Did I ever sleep? Well, usually during a campaign, I have a hard time sleeping right before we launch it. There's usually like an all-nighter. Sometimes there's more than one all-nighter, which is insane. But then at the end, I usually, we just do a quick, we end, and then that's it. But because of Endgame, I didn't. I stayed. We like updated and chatted and saw the numbers go. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I've done 12 crowdfunding projects, and the end is always a burst. So we had a burst, and then we had another burst. It was really, really exciting. We at the last minute, people had been asking for some add-ons for rule books and some other revisions to cards, and I think that allowed people to have something that they could throw in their cart, which it counts for Endgame. So not only were we getting new backers, but we were also getting people who were deliberately adding that at the last minute to make the timer go. For anyone who doesn't know, the way that Endgame works from GameFound, it's a really neat feature, is that the campaign ends. Like, we all didn't know what was going to happen. It's like, campaign's over. And then all of a sudden a 10-minute timer starts. And if anybody backs new or adds on, and they only count one add-on for any individual backer. If you add on in that 10 minutes, it starts the clock again. And again and again and again. Saw it go all day. I was picking up my son from school, and he's like, "Dad, what's going on?" I was like, the counter is still going. I had dinner. The counter was still going. I was giving away T-shirts all until like the late part of the night, and then I passed out. Then I woke up again, gave away some more T-shirts. It was something else. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the hair matches the background. I am one with the Macaron Synthborn in Andromeda's Edge. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a purple, blue, teal thing going on today. So it was very fun, and we had our usual fun with the campaign. Another epic moment of the campaign, in my opinion, was the fact that we had these social goal to unlock 8 Exotech cards by freeing Tim Chewin out of the, he was trapped in Unity space. He was captured by the by Unity, and he had found some ancient tech, some precursor tech that he wanted to unlock, and we all wanted to unlock, but we didn't have, it took the whole campaign to do it. That was one of the best things I've ever seen in a community. And thank you, Nicole. We are really proud of the community we've built. And we never know how much is going to be too big of a challenge, how much is going to be too hard of a puzzle. And so we put this thing out there to free Tim. And we said it needed 1,500 likes. And right away we got 500. But then that was it. So Rosie and I were like, uh-oh. Nobody wants to let Tim. Of course, everyone was voting on a poll and having fun and talking to Tim. And got the comments were great. But getting a like was it's a hard thing to ask for on social media. So I know a lot of people probably thought, oh, someone else will do it. Someone else will make that happen. But then it didn't happen. And what I saw was the most magical thing is that community members started to tell other community members and to share the campaign and say, hey, I think we could get these cards if we get everybody to like it, or we get a bunch of people to like it. And that is exactly what we want to see out of you can make campaigns and you can just unlock everything at the front. You can launch Kickstarters or GameFounds and just make no interaction. But I think it's when other people meet other people and they find out that there's a common game that they share between them, and then everyone's sort of getting excited about the same thing. That is what makes crowdfunding a blast. And I also saw at the very end of crowdfunding, people played a game of Andromeda's Edge together. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's so great. And this was a really awesome campaign for that community to come together. It's funny. I was one that didn't like it right away, forgot about it, then it was brought up again, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go hit the like." Well, because of you, we got more cards in the game, and we got cards that are really cool. One that takes over a raider when you're playing diplomacy. So everyone's like, "Oh, I got this," and then all of a sudden you're like, "I take over the raider right now, and the battle's over." Um, there's my favorite card in the Tim Chewin set, which is called Weapons of the Enemy. My favorite card is a card that I've been asking Luke and Maximus to put in there from the beginning of the game. And Luke didn't feel like it fit the balance of the tactics deck, but somehow it fit the balance of the Exotech deck. And I'll tell you what that one is. It was finally called Raid Cannons. And when you get raid cannons, you actually take 2 of the raider dice, increasing your dice to 8. So that's never been done in like Dwellings or Andromeda's Edge. You get like 6 battle dice, but if you play raid cannons, you get 8 battle dice. And I think that's awesome. I love all of a sudden you have this massive amount of dice. So I'm really excited that that particular pack got unlocked. I also was excited by all of the puzzling that everyone did. So the puzzle that we did this time was there was only one puzzle shown at a time, and you could let someone else solve it, because if anyone solved it, everyone would get a card. And of course, we had some Genesis prizes that we were saying, hey, if you're one of the first to solve it, you get a prize. But giving everyone a card was a really neat way to do a puzzle. And I saw the puzzle channel was a bunch of people talking about Rich's puzzles. Rich Milena was our puzzle master. We did 8 puzzles for an expansion, which is pretty awesome. Hey, how's it going, Addie? It's good to see everybody. Can't wait to move developments. Yeah, there's another card in Tim's set where you actually pick up a development and move it into the nebula. Now that card's it messes with the game because it actually makes it possible that a planet will not be able to get a development, because there's still only 3 developments. So if you move a observatory into the nebula, it is possible that the planet that you moved it from won't get another development. But of course, what you're probably trying to do is build right away in an awesome spot where you already got a great development. So the puzzles were so much fun and frustrating. That is the goal of the puzzles. I appreciate you solving them. And they're still in Discord. So if people want to check it out, Discord, we have the ability to see the puzzle and then also guess. And a bot will tell you if you got it right. If you did get it right, it'll wipe out your answer. And then you get to go into a secret room and chat about the puzzle with everyone else. And let's see if Rosie's ready to come on. Are you all set? All right. We have Rosie, our comms manager.
Hello.
How are you doing after that campaign?
I'm fine. I'm so well rested. I'm definitely, this happens every time. Give it a week and then my body goes, even though you slept well last night, you're not done. Like,
You're not done.
I'll just be like, what? Like, it sort of catches up with you. I used to be very good at staying up late, and it's sort of catching up with me, but it's normally all right for a couple of weeks.
There's something about and someone said this in the Discord too. There's this post-campaign like, oh, there's no I'm not checking in, I'm not doing a thing, I'm not buzzing around and doing all the stuff. It's so crazy from our end that I do actually wonder what the heck I'm going to do with myself. I think I'm going to play Andromeda's Edge all weekend is what I'm going to do. That is how I'm going to celebrate. I'm just going to like go on to the Discord and play. So I hope people will play Genesis with me. I also
thank you to everyone sharing the live in the Discord. Shout out to Mehador, who's I think going to be watching it later. So hello in the future when you're watching this.
We also have to mention really quickly that there is going to be a stream after this one. This is our usual Friday live, and we're going to talk about a couple things besides Genesis. But I do want to hear from the audience about like if you had anything you want to say about the campaign. But right after this live, we're going to have an amazing reveal of what is in this backpack. Ooh, I better not show it just yet. There's something in there, and that was on our campaign earlier this year. This year we did 2 campaigns that were both related to existing IPs that we had. We did a Flamecraft campaign where there was an expansion, and we did Andromeda's Edge where there was an expansion. And that's the first time we've ever done an expansion for anything in our line. Well, I mean, not an expansion, but done a campaign based around an expansion.
I'm loving that.
Back. But here's a question I wanted to ask you, Rosie, because you came on during Critter Kitchen, and then, which arguably are 3 big games, because we don't have Riverwood out yet. Critter Kitchen, you came on, and then you got to run the Flamecraft Duels campaign with me and with a team, and that was your first Flamecraft campaign on the team. And then now this is your first Andromeda's Edge. So you really kind of got the whole taste of
all the IPs.
And you don't have to say Genesis was the most fun. I actually just want to know, honestly, like, what do you think about the 3 different ones?
It's so different. They're all so different. Like, I mean, Critter Kitchen was massive, like massive. And
Critter Kitchen was one of the ones where, because we were launching a new game, we had a stretch goal wall that just kept going and going and going.
So many characters, and
you know, got unlocked.
It was kind of a blur, because I jumped in and went, learn all the things about, and all it already existed. So, you know, it could just be like, oh great, this already exists. And then we were coming up with stories and lore and writing lots of updates, and the stretch goal went on forever. And whereas these 2, the expansion ones, even though they don't feel like it, they were lighter, like compared to Critter Kitchen.
I know that we have 4 games, but she can't compare what that was like to run.
I've played it, but I can't compare.
It was a small.
I feel like the campaigns were a bit smaller. We didn't shrink in terms of how much we write on our updates, even though we was planned to. We're like, we'll write less, and then we don't. But let's put less in it.
If you like very long updates, tell us, because otherwise, people are like, why are you writing so much? But we like to say all the things and show pictures and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice to go through them. But I think that, you know, we had stretch goals on Critter Kitchen. We haven't done them in a while, or potentially with 2 years or a year. Like, it's going to be whiplash again when we get back to stretch goals.
We're going to go back to stretch goal charts in Whisperwood, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
But we decided these 2 campaigns this year were supposed to be smaller. That's the funny part. That's what everyone at the office laughs. Everyone laughs at me, because they're going to be smaller, and then they were not smaller. They were just massive campaigns. I have to say that the Genesis campaign, so it raised over $900,000 for. Thank you, Faith. Oh, that's nice. I'm really glad to hear that, everybody. I don't, for better or worse, we're not doing anything like halfway around here. To much like noodling, and like we do images at the last second, and our poor creative director Sarah is probably like, has been a rough year probably coming on board, and then finding out that's how we roll around here. But you know, the Genesis doing 900,000 on an expansion just blows me away. It's the backer count that blows me away, though. It's not
only 2 weeks. Like,
what was that?
It's only 2 weeks.
It's unbelievable. It shows me that there's a lot of people that are excited about the game, excited about more content. Undeniably, Andromeda's Edge is still a very big game for a lot of people, and we love it, and we're going to keep supporting it. And to me, it's also kind of goes around and around about. When I wasn't in control of the publishing at Breaking Games, I could not get a Dwellings expansion through, and it bugged me. And I was like, if I make games, I'm going to support the games that we make.
Because I do notice that some there are different kinds of publisher that people aren't aware of. There are lots of different kinds. Some will put a lot of games out, and you're like, how are they putting loads of games out? And some aren't. It really just depends on, one, the size of the company, but also where they put the work. It could be that the game's already pretty much done before they make it, so there's a lot less work involved, whereas we kind of start from scratch a lot of the time, and so I know don't worry, there's a sauce there.
I know, I want one of those now.
And a tiny teapot.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know. But yeah, I don't know what I was talking about now. But yes, so some publishers make lots of games, and it takes them. They seem to get lots of games out. But I do like that we keep up with our games. Obviously there are some games that get a lot more attention than others, and that's just the nature of it. But we aren't like making games and then moving on and forgetting about them.
No,
like,
that's
there are people that are passionate. We want to keep them excited and interested in what we're doing.
I hope that doesn't change. I don't intend for it to change. I know that there's like a lifespan of games. Like you do have to face like some games retire into the sunset. But if they don't, if we're lucky enough to have people who are still playing Critter Kitchen, we'll still talk about Critter Kitchen, and we'll still talk about, Flamecraft and Andromeda's Edge. And we intend to do that. We're not making games to like, Duels was a little one. We made a little one, but it's also going to be one of the biggest ones in our whole line in a way. So we're going to keep talking about it. And there's still valid reasons to play Flamecraft. I mean, Flamecraft is not going anywhere, and it's really
they're part of the same world, they're sort of, as we know, they play duels in Flamecraft, so they're sort of meta, which is very sweet.
There'll be a moment where we get to do the Jamie Stegmaier. He did like a video where he said that my top games of my collection that I published, he was like ranking them, and we don't have enough to rank yet in that way. There's not a top 10 yet, but there will be a top 10, and that'll be kind of neat to go like, oh, what?
Absolutely. It's
what do you honestly think,
There's lots of questions, and
let's get some questions.
So Mark said, "Can you talk more about the alternative reality and the decision to ban it?"
Yes.
So they're talking about a card that we have decided to ban based on a few reasons.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, and I also kind of love the fact that we've banned a card. It's like Magic the Gathering, and Andromeda's Edge has now banned a card out of existence. And then we banned it because of, so we decided to do a Dice Tower promo. Dice Tower is, they've got their channel, and they've been very supportive of the game. And every January they have a campaign, and they ask, hey, do you have any cool promos? And spoiler, we have another fun thing that we're planning with them for the next year. It's not Andromeda's Edge. I'm not going to say anything more about it, but we did do a promo with them for 2024. And it was that they wanted to do, so they wanted a promo, and we decided to come up with this Dice Tower event card. And the Dice Tower event card is just kind of silly. You don't need it for, it's not part of the game proper. Although I will say that we weren't going to ever print it again. And due to popular demand and everyone saying, hey, I want to make sure I get that card, we put it in the Genesis campaign. And it's an add-on that you could get. And when we open a Pledge Manager, if anyone's missing the Dice Tower cards, you can get them. And secretly, what everyone didn't know is we put we actually made the Genesis event card back all the way back then when we were making those files for them, because we knew Genesis was going to come, and we wanted to make sure that everyone got a copy of the Dice Tower event for every single event deck that you could get. So we made the Genesis back early, and then we put that promo out. And we were getting the print ready cards. We were getting the cards for print all ready to go. And a couple of people had played the card. And all of a sudden we realized that with alternate reality, you could abuse the Dice Tower event. Alternate reality was already abusive. It was already kind of one of the most powerful cards at the right moment. I told Chris Strain, I saw him play it in a game where he used it right after he had scored a 20-point event score. He scored a 20-pointer again by playing that card. That is what the card's supposed to be like, and no one has to take it out of their deck. We're not going to go to each tabletop game and say, oh, you're playing with alternate reality, that card's banned. But we're going to strongly suggest, especially if you have the Dice Tower event, that you take that card out of your deck. And for everybody on the campaign that ends up getting the revision add-on, we're going to remove that card from the deck now. So it'll become it's a card that won't be in print anymore either, which is kind of weird. I've never had that in a game before where it's like, oh, we took this card out of print. But now we're replacing it with another card that's already in the deck. So some of the cards in the deck get to be in twice because they're that good. So we're going to find another card, and we're going to promote that card to double status, and it's going to have 2 copies in the deck.
I mean, someone said this, you could put it in the backpack.
Yeah, the alternate reality is now. Now, I will tell you a funny story that happened is that Luke had come up with an alternate card. So we called that card alternate reality. We were going to make another promo card that's alternate reality, but that card was also not testing. It was a little mean, and I wasn't sure about that card. So we decided to just say, you know what, we're taking that card out, and we're going to make another card popular enough to have double in the deck now.
100% get Luke to sign your
Yes,
band.
I think people should find Luke at conventions and get him to sign alternate reality.
Yeah. I think he should keep track of how many he signs. I think it's really funny. You know those things where they're like, tag your tickets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yours has been done. It's out of the game.
Yeah.
But yes, a card. There's no card to replace it.
Well, no, in the deck. No, there is. So we're keeping the deck at 80 cards, and so by taking a card out, there is going to be a card to promote. I don't want to say what that card is yet because I know Luke and Maximus are still like looking at a couple cards for that. But
as it stands, there's no card.
There will be a card.
Yeah. There was another one, which wasn't really a question. It was just giving a shout out to the team. We're all in the comments replying to everyone, trying to get as many questions answered as possible. Yes, the wall was pumping, and actually, just a fun insight from the team. That was a quiet wall for us. Like,
yeah,
we have, if it's Flamecraft and Critter Kitchen and Duels. Yeah. So many more comments. Again, I as someone that's in the UK time zone, I did experience a quieter morning than just because of the numbers of people that are talking US time. Yeah. But we're also very grateful for everyone who doesn't work for Cardboard Alchemy who also got involved. We did see a lot of the same names popping up, like Lazy Llama and Dark Rat. Very, very appreciative of you answering questions when we're away from screens. So
yeah. There's several people like I saw who, we had a FAQ. A lot of people come in, they don't read the FAQ first, and then they ask a question that was been asked like two questions ago. It's natural. It totally happens. What you're trying to do is quickly assess what you need to know, and all campaigns are different. So I know how that goes. I sometimes go into a campaign like, what do I need to care about? I'm going to get the deluxe pledge, but then does it have everything? And immediately that's what you're asking. And people in the comments who are helping out, that is gold. I will say, like, as far as, I don't think I've ever seen that. So even though we've had bigger walls, Kickstarter sometimes has a lot more people in it. I have seen some dedicated, loyal fans over on the Game Found wall. So I appreciate everyone who was over there.
And on the Discord too, we know we're covered there a lot of the time. We know we've got like Ellie and Impy and all these people answering questions. So it's very, very grateful to have you there too, because people ask questions all over the internet, wherever we are. Yeah, I'll get messages on Instagram, which go to requests sometime, and I have to dig down and find them. But yeah, I really appreciate it.
We've got heroes on Discord who are always there, friendly and inviting people and talking to people. We've also got heroes on BGG. I know that there's Michael over there. If Luke is not answering the question, Michael is probably answering the question. It's awesome to see that,
Rodney asked, I have never seen a stretch goal not get met. What happens in the event it doesn't reach its goal?
Oh, that's interesting. And Rodney, I feel I pride myself on having made stretch goals that all have gotten met. And all the 12 campaigns I've ever run, I have calculated and worked it out and figured it out how it's going to go. And I don't know what's going to happen the day that I don't pull that off. Probably what will happen is in the pledge manager, I'll find another way to give that item or thing, because we design them to ultimately have all of the things. Now it's not rocket science, because you don't know how much funding is. Like, I will tell you, on Flamecraft, we had designed a certain amount of stretch goals. We had no idea that campaign was going to $2 million. We had no idea. So mid-campaign, we're like, okay, let's have a brainstorming session. What else are we going to make? Sometimes you run out. I think on Critter Kitchen, we said there are no more stretch goals.
Yeah, the box is heavy enough.
You can run out. So you can have the one way where you run out too early and everyone's like, well, what else are we going to do? And then you can run out all of a sudden. I've seen campaigns, I feel very sad for those campaigns, where they have 20 planned and the campaign does a very mild launch, and then you don't have the 20 things that are in it. And usually the downside of that is it actually causes, in crowdfunding land, that causes people to pull out, because they're like, well, I'm not getting the final I'm not getting the game as it could have been, even though the game is amazing and it's charming as is, and they just suddenly feel like there's a loss, but there isn't a loss. You're getting an amazing game.
I'm curious. Obviously, mostly it's not about like making money as much as it is like community and everything. What was your goal for Flamecraft? Like, what did you think? What did you predict?
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just curious, like in terms of backers and funding, what did you kind of hope for or could have predict? You obviously have experienced crowdfunding before it, but I'm just like, the scale was unprecedented. So
the largest one that I had ever done before Flamecraft was probably, I mean, I was involved in the Cafe Chaos one because that was my design that was being published by somebody else, and they raised like 900,000, and I had been involved in Dwellings of Eldervale, which was about 546,000 or something like that. So I knew, and I had seen Druid City and a couple other people do 700,000 or 800,000. So I kind of thought the range of a campaign, if you do really well, is you could get 500 to 800,000. That's what I thought was possible from somebody that's not known. You don't have an IP. You don't have any, a lot of previous.
And Sandara has a huge audience like that.
Sandara has a huge audience, but she had actually launched a Flamecraft mini. Like she had done a maquette, and almost no one found that campaign. So she's like, "Oh, Flamecraft's never going to fund."
We're all going to go look for that now.
You should go see. It's a little. There's a grandmother-like woman who's got these little dragon friends. It's like one of the first things she ever made, and she had somebody model that and stuff like that. It was a campaign that like had, I don't know how many backers it had, but she said something like, "Oh, Flamecraft, probably not going to be that big." And I was like, I disagree. I think Flamecraft's going to be really big. So we were going back and forth, and I said, "What if we got to 500,000?" Because I was like, I think we could get to 500,000. And she said, "There's no way it's going to get to 500,000." I was like, okay, if it gets to 500,000, will you draw like another coaster? And she's like, sure, because she thought that bet was nothing.
Yeah, I'll do too.
The first day of the campaign, we had raised like 350,000, and I said, "How's that second coaster coming?"
That's amazing. And she's also launched jewelry as well. She did.
Yes, she's launched jewelry,
which I desperately want that jewelry. I know it doesn't. It's gone now. Like it was a one-time.
Very small and passionate campaigns where she did like owl jewelry and a dragon pendant. I have the dragon pendant. I don't know where it is at the moment because I packed it away, going like, "Oh, I backed it."
That will go missing one day. It will.
I know. When I find it, you'll be like, "Wait, Rosie, that's a nice dragon pendant."
But yeah, I could just like, I think a lot of people, I talk to a lot of publishers and they always ask them like, what's your goals? What's your estimation for this? And sometimes it's just so low. You're just like, oh, this would be nice. And you're just like, oh, like, they must be so amazing to see something that you were like, I hope some people like it, and just see everyone just so excited. People love dragons. Exactly. People love dragons.
They do.
But it's just a combo of like the art and the game and everything.
It was all the factors put together. Manny's game was really solid, and I think one of the things that happened is that Manny and Brad and I were working on it, and then it got to previewers like Rado, and we were like, well, if Rado says it's really light and kind of nothing, we'll know that we have a cute game, a popular game for art, but we don't have a game. We don't have a game that's in there. And then when Rado just gushed about it, and everyone who played it gushed about it, we were like, okay, this game is like, we have a good, we thought it was good, but we didn't know that everyone was going to think it's good. I mean, we so proud of that game. We worked so hard on Flamecraft. I haven't really talked about like how fast and hard we worked on it, but it came from nothing. Sometimes a game has like a history of 7 years. Dwellings of Eldervale took 7 years. Flamecraft came together very fast, and we worked on it day and night, like every day we played it, and it had lots of versions that didn't work. And I remember we were gonna make it like Lords of Waterdeep, a little bit like Lords of Waterdeep, and a little bit like where you owned your own shops. But Manny really didn't want that. And that was such a smart decision. It was so good that all of a sudden you were building the town for everybody else. And early testers were hoarding so much goods, and they're like, this feels like, I know it's a dragon game, but this feels really wrong that I'm hoarding all these goods.
Unless you
but
got my specific power.
yeah, now we have a reward for that.
You want to hoard with my power.
Yeah.
Trailskew says, was hoping she'd get a cameo in Flamecraft. Is
Oh,
Sandara
yeah.
in Flamecraft? Like,
Oh no, she's talking about the actual elderly woman that was tending to the dragon.
Okay.
I don't know if Sandara snuck her in, but early on when we were talking to Sandara, she owns the world of Flamecraft, and we didn't want to. We wanted to give her that ability to tell her own stories in Flamecraft, and she said, I think I'm going to keep that grandmother out of it so that I could, just have her lore to my other properties and other things that I want. So I think the grandmother may have stayed out of it, but if you never know, Sandara might have snuck her into a crowd or something like that,
Yeah, the amount of times like she'll just be chatting and go, "Oh, that's in the background." I'll be like,
yeah.
What? Yeah, that's there. Don't look at that.
And in our next stream, we're gonna show you this amazing piece of art with spoilers in it. That's it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's not just a backpack reveal. It's a backpack reveal plus.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it. Very exciting. As someone said, I have tea so I can spill it. Indeed, I do. There was a really interesting comment. I'm definitely interested to hear what your thoughts are on this. Stephanie said, I noticed Calypso introduced a new type of sticky board. Have you seen it? I know you wasn't. So what it is it's they've made a texture for the polyomino pieces.
Oh, I did hear about
slide around.
Yeah.
It looks slightly dull, and it's obviously a prototype at this point. But it's the first time I've seen anything advertised as deliberately like not movement. And I would assume it's some kind of like the texture you get on business cards when it's got that velvet texture.
Yeah, a little bit something. There's
it's interesting.
Stonemaier has been on the forefront of texture also with like Wingspan has like a texture on the back of the boards and has been looking at some subtle things that will have more resistance for slippage. Also was one of the first people to do dual layer to cause that to happen.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
This is Inside Up, who are very closely connected to Stonemaier. They often share booths together.
So I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I was in line to get a prototype, but I'm just trying to restrict. I'm trying to have a personal life. So I said I'll check it out at Essen. But it does look very cool and is described as cozy. So we'll see. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, I want to play it.
But not that's not always a thing. Everyone describes everything as cozy.
That's true.
I
played a very cozy game last night, by the way. I had a game night last night.
Oh yeah.
Since the campaign ended, I mean, I was actually going to game night, and we were like, I was not sure if Endgame was going to be over, but I taught people a place for all my books again, and everyone loved it. Oh my god, they're like, this is so cozy and so awesome.
Actually, I went to a murder mystery last night at a board game tavern, and I solved it. Obviously, like I'm amazing. It's not my first rodeo into solving crimes. And they have a little board game shop, and they've got Flamecraft, and they've got a place for my books on sale. I'm like, they work fast. Like the fact that it's in that shop already. But I actually saw people with stacks of games on their table, and Flamecraft was there. And I was like, every time I come here, Flamecraft, and they said their copy is worn out. I've given them a replacement, but it was a deluxe, and they're just like too resistant to give it to the public. They're like, they can have it when they're ready.
There's deluxe in there. There'll be another deluxe some days.
I told him to get it out on the table.
I know
maybe
that I probably
maybe it's there somewhere.
I think I owe one to a store as well. And forgive me, anyone who is waiting for something from me, a prize or a copy to them or a replacement or something, it has been a whirlwind this year. I'm hoping that with Andromeda Genesis now just in production mode, that I can focus on some of these things. I definitely want to get anyone who, I know we had surprises at Gen Con and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we're always, this is the thing, we're always working on our processes and figuring out the most effective, but also effective in sense for you guys, not just for us in terms of process. And so t-shirts are really handy actually because they're print on demand, and so it doesn't require us to literally package something and send it. And like 9 times out of 10 it's Peter in his office.
Yeah, I have on, yeah.
So we're figuring out the best ways to do this, and we do get behind sometimes because things stack up, life stacks up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're if you're waiting, we will get it to you 100%. It just takes a
We
little
always
bit of
make
time.
good on it. Some of them are long prizes, and I appreciate everyone's patience. Actually, we were talking about ordering some badge ribbons because we had some at Gen Con, and I'm going to come up with a way of getting a badge ribbon if you can't find us at a con. It's going to involve writing in, and I know that's going to be like another jam-packed, but I'm going to solve it from the last time where people wrote in. I'm going to do some like pre-printed letters back. It won't be as personal, but at the same time, I hope it's still cool to get a badge ribbon.
I think I'll be the European office,
yes,
and I'll do the ones, and then you can deal with the other side.
yeah. Well, we'll make the process. I appreciate everyone's patience with us, but we love prizes around here. I guess I hope that's at least worth it.
Yeah. Anthony asked, how long was the end game for Andromeda's Genesis campaign?
So it was about 8 minutes shy of 27 hours. So yeah, that was long. It wasn't the record. I mean, we found out the record is like 51 hours for I think, there was a big one that did a lot of bigger prizes and bigger things and stuff like that. We had the add-on that people could do, and we didn't know if I don't know if it was going to go 1 hour. I didn't know if anyone was going to be like, because the thing is, if at any moment in the 10 minutes, if it lapses, it's over. It's just it's it. So
it was so weird though. It got to 0 so many times, but then there was this like
there's a delay,
bit, and then it would be fine. And I was always like, maybe it does stack up. I was just watching it going, this is stressful.
The meat ribbon, by the way, so it was Manny's idea. We were making the dragon ribbons, and I was going to say bread dragon and meat dragon. And then Manny's like, we'll put the dragon head and just say meat. It's a very funny ribbon to just get something that says meat on it, and I don't think any company's ever done that before. I mean, I don't know. It's bizarre. We have bread and meat and crystal and plant and potion, iron, fancy. It's a fancy ribbon.
And Roman's asking, when will Genesis ship? In terms, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of wiggle room because stuff happens, but what's our plan?
Yeah. So Genesis is done. That's the great news. So Genesis has all of its cards balanced and all of the content done. That's another reason why these are sort of smaller in the sense that they aren't like brand new games. We already know how to make Andromeda's Edge. There are a couple things we have to solve. There are minis, and I do have to work back and forth with the plant on the mini production, and minis take a long time to make. And because there's minis, and there's also little terraforming tokens, which are little minis, and there's also control locks which have to fit on the raider. We have to look at we have to balance everything with the way everything fits in the tray. So there is production to do. We're predicting that if we can get all of and there's an appendix to not completely rewrite, but like really work on the appendix. Luke has already started, but we're going to get on that as a team. And I would say if we ship after Chinese New Year, we are on track to deliver Genesis next summer. I feel like there's not too many things that could mess with that, because we do have a product that we already know, and we just have the things that we've got to make that are new. And then we'll be hopefully delivering before Gen Con next year, and then maybe going to Gen Con with Genesis. That'd be fun.
I am saving all of your questions, but I want to make sure that I go through some other bits and pieces. So we'll definitely pitch them again. So I have some bits from our pages. We're back to sharing some of those.
Oh yeah, Rosie's always got. If you post in our Facebook group, you could be featured on one of our lives.
You could be featured, exactly, and that's a threat. It could happen. One of our lovely community, Joanne, always takes 2 very specific meeples out and about.
Look at that.
So Cosmo and Lily get to go on more adventures than me. I swear, Lily gets about. And I don't actually know where this is, if I'm honest, but it looks like it's not a fish and chips, I think.
I mean, that looks like a fish and chips. At first, I wasn't sure.
Could be the coast.
Shrimp, but it looks
that looks like a lighthouse somewhere. Let us know in the comments where this was. I just screen grabbed it and went, look, they're out somewhere. Also, but yeah, I love seeing these updates.
I can't find the comment right now, but Celestial Source said something like, "Oh, Critter Kitchen is the only Cardboard Alchemy property that doesn't have like a crossover." But actually, you can see the crossover right here. It's Cosmo Octopus. That's kind of fun that we talk to, because we always are talking to another publisher. So in Andromeda's Edge Genesis, you've got this Cosmic Frog, you've got Galactic Cruise Tile, you've got references to our games, and then I really love that Your Kitchen has Cosmo, and of course Joanne. Thank you for taking Cosmo like everywhere.
And there's going to be an expansion, isn't there? They're
There
working
is.
on it.
Yeah.
There's been some really beautiful pictures knocking around of the next Cosmoctopus art, which looks amazing. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do, because it's a very atmospheric game. Also, Billy.
Yeah, we got the fish and chips location, by the way. Everyone go there right now.
I was Saltburn by the Sea. Nice.
I can't wait to. I know you met the Cardboard Alchemy universe, but I'm spinning it.
Billy decided it was high time to get a copy of the big boy myself. Missed out on the campaign, was definitely into the game when my friend got here. So here I am. So this is pre-unboxing, Billy. Hope you're doing well. It's been 2 hours. There is a video that'll help you, trust me.
It's interesting because we have these all-in copies. Now those are the original ones, so we promoted them a little bit before the campaign, but during the campaign it was too hard of messaging to say, well, you could get it here, you could get it there, you could get it there. Someone even posted a comment towards the end like, this game you could get it in like 5 different ways and it's confusing. And I go, I know, because it's in stores now. It's like I can't possibly explain all the ways to get it, but one of the ways to get it was all in on our site. You can get it today. You can get it right now. But of course, we were advertising the new thing, and people sometimes, but I know some people are like, "Oh, I just found it," and thank you, Billy, for coming in.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have a lot of fun. It's a beautiful box. I've had friends come out of the woodwork going, "So you've got Andromeda's Edge?" And I'm like, "I do. Would you like to borrow a copy?" Also, this brilliant picture of Luke just as we went into Endgame.
That was the beginning of Endgame.
New office. The difference between mine and Luke's office is staggering. This is literally like 2 other worlds. There is nothing. He can't have anything on the walls. He needs to focus. Whereas I cannot have blank walls. I need creativity surrounding me to be able to think. If I'm in like a hotel that's blank, I'm like, I can't think. There's nothing here. So yeah.
I'm so excited for Luke because so many reasons I'm excited for Luke. But here's Luke. He's on our team. So we got to see like behind the scenes. He's like involved in it. He was doing more than he's ever done as a designer, but he's also the designer of this game. It's getting a reprint. He's gotten to quit his day job essentially and basically start working in the industry that he loves and full time. And we're so excited to have him on the team. I think that's like one of the greatest things to raise a glass to. I'm so glad that he got to see this game come back to life. To all intents and purposes, the Genesis campaign is bigger than some of his other games launch. And it's not a competition, but it's just like, this is the biggest game he has in his lineup, and I know he's really proud of it. And it's all like the culmination of all his worker placement, all the work he's been doing, and a partnership with his son. It's like, what a campaign! So I'm so happy.
Lovely. I definitely couldn't spend that much time with my dad. That's for sure. We've worked on projects, but in little snippets.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because Brad, and I mentioned this on stream, Brad designs with his dad, and so
Norv's here. I see. Said hello.
Hello, Norv.
I know. That's so
it's
sweet.
Great.
That's so sweet.
Also,
Berkey at Game Toppers shared a little video. I'm just going to put this here. Berkey's been so lovely and supportive, and is going above and beyond. In fact, we're going to be having a little space at Essen where we can show off some bits and stuff. So and he did a little video showing off the mat, and this is one of their game. Which one do you think this is? Do you think this is the Mycroft? No, do you think this is the
Mycroft's not made yet?
It doesn't exist yet. My brain's like, not that one, Rosie.
Thanks for the compliment about the mat. I think this is one. I do think this is a beautiful mat. I mean, I know that's not objective, but I think Sergio blew this one out of the water. It's gorgeous.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. This is probably the biggest one, though. This is probably the 72.
It probably is. It looks like it's got a lot going on there. Although I don't know, the red is a little short. There could be a little more red.
Maybe. Yeah, this is the fun thing. I actually have all 3.
That's true.
Somewhere around there, and I have to mark the bags with a white pen.
I think if
I cannot tell.
I think this is correct because it's wide. It looks very wide, so I think it is.
Okay, so it's the medium.
Yeah.
Now that we're gonna have 4 sizes, I can't have a small, medium, and large. It's like,
Yeah, right.
damn
Yeah.
it.
There's actually another mat that Bricky makes that I don't know. So he's got the Minecraft, and then there's the extra large. I don't think it has another name. It's just the XL. That one is even more feet long, and I was like, I don't think we can do that one. That's like, wow.
Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, but I've played Andromeda's Edge with 3 people on that mat, and it's awesome. It's so cool.
I can say this now. This is the second mat I've worked on with Berkey. We worked on a Dwellings of Eldervale mat together, and I love working with game toppers. And I could tell you that if at all possible, we're gonna make one for Whisperwood and Flamebound. We're gonna make some more mats, I hope.
Yeah, they're such good quality. They're incredible.
That's the winning part to me. It's
I don't know where to put them though, so could you not?
They're not. Yeah.
I'm just like, I might need to have some ceiling.
We're just gonna put Mission Catastrophe on the mat. That's cool. We have sci-fi mat now, so
yeah, a seasonal said Apiary on it would look awesome.
That's cool too. Apiary is great.
It's very cool. But yeah, and then Monster Couch just shared a Dev Chronicles, so the second of their design for the Flamecraft digital game, which is coming to Steam. You can go and follow it or favorite it or whichever the word is, or save it.
Really big year for our games going digital because, of course, all this time on the campaign, you may have noticed people have joined in on Andromeda's Edge on Board Game Arena. And earlier this year, we announced that Flamecraft is coming to Steam via Monster Couch, and we're so excited to have the video game for Flamecraft.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that little shop.
And that shop right there, that's the Sage of Sage. We've never we didn't have to imagine what it was like outside. We just Sadara drew the inside of Sage. And Monster Couch is like, well, now we're going to figure out what every building looks like outside. And behind that, you can see Draco Bell has little picnic tables and you can sit there. And they're going to have animations of dragons running around in the town. It's adorable.
You can join our Discord. It's linked below. And there's a channels specifically for this, and it's linked there, so you can go and check it out. And also, they're in there chatting, so you're more than welcome to ask questions and make suggestions. They're listening in.
This is awesome, by the way. I also hope that happens. They have to make it on Steam first, and if we get enough people to show support for that, then it could go other places. And I'm so excited for that video game.
So excited! It's yeah. Like we're not far off giving it a go. So
So Pizza Coven has been. It was like one of the. I think if you go to the first Dev Chronicles, you can see Pizza Coven animated. It's really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. That was all my picks.
That was good. It was a good number of picks. I liked it.
And in my topics, I just want to talk about what's next for us. What are we on now? We don't just stop, although I am having a week off.
We're doing the stream next week. I'm doing the stream alone.
I mean, I might still join.
Okay, so yeah, Rosie will be back. All right, but anyway, take a couple of days. Everyone should take a couple of days. I could, but we don't really. I definitely don't stop. For better or worse, to all the people in my life that are like, oh, geez, all you do is talk about games and you just work all the time. Sorry to my family. But not sorry, because we're making more games. Oh my God, there's so many games to make. We're not done making games. So we got Genesis cooking now. We're going to work on it in production, get it going. And meanwhile, Whisperwood is our whole team is cranking on Whisperwood. And yet we're also working on Flamebound, and we're also working on something else I can't talk about. So it's just this, and Flamecraft Duels is about to land. And we've got Nicole who's trying to get Flamecraft Duels in every store in every country, localized, translated, and all sorts of. So there's so many cool things happening. And Flamecraft Duels is going to be its own mega event when it lands. I just know that game is going to hit well. I thank you for that prediction. We're gonna see if we can make that happen. I
the other day went and saw some content creators called the Tabletop 2, and
I love them.
They're very sweet. They're big fans of Critter Kitchen. They make these memes and stuff of all these trendy sounds using Critter Kitchen. And I gave them the expansion because they joined after the campaign happened. And we also played Duels, and they picked it up so fast. They had to leave in like 20 minutes. We were like, let's just play a game,
Yeah.
get it done. It was incredible. But they were still just chatting away while they played it. And that's what I love about this game so much. You can seriously like hone in and not say a word and play, but you can also just chat and have a cup of tea and hang out. Like, I just love how it can be two different kinds of scenarios. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and they really like it.
Because we have the extra modes in there, and there's a lot of content. There's a lot of great art to look at, as usual, from a Sandara product. But Manny's quick abstract design in there with Luke really worked on it, and Dev. And we played it in the Discord with people. It's really solid, and I just cannot wait for people to find it. It also fits on an airline tray table. I'm so excited by that game. We're gonna have an epic launch of that game. I can't talk about what stores are interested in it, but there's a lot of interest in the game. And we're about to land. The reason why we're doing the stream in a few minutes, the spoiler stream, is because this dragon could be in somebody's house in October, not just October, early October. We have never ever had a campaign where we funded it in April and somebody in October has the game to play. Not only that, but just has the expansion to Flamecraft and the plush and the art books and stuff like that. So it's an exciting year. We're going to have a really big fall season of people getting of course, people are going to get the game in different regions from, October through, could even take till February or March for some parts of the world.
Yeah, so it takes a long time. It takes for the boats and the trucks to get to places.
Yeah,
it varies a lot. So usually like Australia or obviously China, those places come first because it's just faster.
Somebody will be able to have a Halloween Durg, right? Yeah,
exactly. So what we were thinking was, of course, we wanted everyone to open up the backpack and discover it for themselves. But we thought, what's going to happen? We can't really stop people sharing their joy at receiving their parcels. They're going to start posting. We want them to. We want to see it. We don't want to have silence online about it. So we thought we'll do it in a way where people can be spoiled in the right way. But obviously, maybe some people don't mind finding out however they find out.
Yeah, it's weird because I almost want to tell everyone don't watch it. Don't watch it. But then all of a sudden I want everyone to see what fun thing we're going to reveal. I also want to say, because of the things we're talking about, we're also making a fun thing for Critter Kitchen. We're making promos for Critter Kitchen, and we've got lots of different promos planned. And the designers are also working on some other ideas in the Critter Kitchen universe. So there's just lots of possibilities for that game as well. So we've got all of those things. And someone asked in the chat, will Mission Catastrophe ever come back? It's possible. We're working on, we got lots of things cooking in different places to try and see what, Luke's got other ideas in the Andromeda's Edge universe. So there's a lot of designs that are possible around here. So there's no time to waste. Lots to work on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm checking on some other questions. Someone asked, what are the Martian terraformers habs?
Well, it's Luke talked about this on a stream that he was on with us, and he said that he was inspired by The Martian, and in The Martian, they have there's first of all the Mav that gets them on and off the planet, and then there's sort of this habitat that he's making potatoes in, right? So it's like a dome. The idea is it's a biodome kind of surface thing that you build on a planet, and you could get your ecosystem going in it. And in our game, you build one of those on a planet, and then you go up the track in that planet type, and then you also could build cheaper there. And originally, the Martian terraformers were everyone could build cheaper there, and it was a race. You build the hab, and then anyone could use it. But now it is it is yours only, and you get to build
yours only. Yeah, he's locked it. He's locked it up with a key. Are they the only faction to receive a new playing piece?
Yeah, this is funny. I don't know how much Luke or any designer takes this to heart, but I tell designers it is okay if you come up with a card idea that requires a piece that's nowhere else in the game. And I think in the beginning of the game, Luke took that to heart a little bit and made the mechaphage, these little tokens that are only needed for one event card. And every once in a while, I'll see a thread on BGG was like, why are these tokens on here? They're for one card. Sometimes people get irritated by that and say, that's dumb. But I kind of love
especially in games that have tuck boxes to unlock and things to open and stuff like that. You're like, oh, this piece is just for this. So I told him and Maximus, I was like, you can make whatever you want as long as we can find a place for it in the box.
Yeah.
So they had an idea for another piece. So there was going to be another piece. It was the old faction that's now the Wood Whisperers. It was going to have this like growing plant that held one of the developments or held the development or did something with the developments. That faction did not make it. So the Martian Terraformers is the only faction with an extra piece. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Grey Fox asked, have you announced what type of game Whisperwood will be?
Yes, I noticed the comments answer that too, but it is like a deck builder, it's a bag builder, but instead of cards, your deck is your bag. And as you pull something out of the bag, like you pull a cute otter out of your bag, it will have various things that it does, and then you pull the next one out of your bag, and now you got like another cool, you got an earth element, and you're going to pull these things out of the bag, and you choose how you build your bag. So there is a terrain in front of you, and the land's corrupted. It's been long lost. The woods are the water is murky, and the air is polluted, and so you're a druid, and you can talk to the animals, and you're gonna restore the land. And then you find these ancient golems that have fallen asleep. They fought a dark sorcerer a long time ago and then shut down. You don't know where they came from, but you start to awaken the golems and learn their secrets. Whisperwood's going to be a lot of fun, and you can decide which golems you want to talk to, what animals you want to put in your bag, what elements you want to do, how you want to customize, what other familiars and creatures you find. There's so much going on in Whisperwood, and we're going to be playing in our Discord very soon. We're going to have the ability for people to get in on an early couple games if you want to get in there.
Did you receive anything recently?
I did receive something recently. Speaking of Whisperwood, I will show you that we are working on little things. Look at this guy. This is a very early resin model of a golem. Sergio is working on
what's he got on his finger?
Oh, he's got like a little animal, a little bird.
You put your hand behind it like a model.
It's a little birdie. We got to work on the details not there yet. It's a really rough resin.
Mini. So cute.
And we're going to try and make these a little bit bigger too on the board. So we're balancing the board space, and the golems have to tower above the druids, and so the druid meeples and the golems. Yeah, the Iron Giant vibes are definitely there. Sergio's got this really cool. He's got a lot of different golems to make, and he's got a lot of different. They're going to all be different.
Yeah. Slushy. So, oh no, need to paint. I desperately want to dry brush that. Like.
Yeah, there's so many. There's going to be so many more details. It's going to be the most details.
Yeah.
On any mini we've ever done, because there's a lot of gears on the base, and there's all sorts of details.
I need a baggie of the fountain dragons so I can start doing different paint jobs.
Yeah, if you're into painting, these minis are going to have there's going to be a lot of cool detail to paint.
Yeah, stunning. But yeah, I'm just checking any more questions before we've got to be on time today, because we get 10 minutes to jump over to the stream. Get ready.
Right, so we're going to do a 10-minute break, and then we're going to go into a Flamecraft very specific special stream with a spoiler of what's inside, what's in this backpack. We're going to do that in 10 minutes.
Wait, because I've got one too.
Oh, there you go. If anyone has any more questions we didn't answer, we are back every Friday, but also you could ask it on YouTube. You could ask it on our Discord. You can go on our Facebook groups. You can go on our campaign walls. We're going to be around anytime to answer your questions. We might pass out a little bit from this last campaign, but maybe not. I'll probably be in the Discord playing Andromeda's Edge, so let's get a game. All right.
Yeah, well, tomorrow, Doug and I have another immersive movie party.
Nice.
Specifically for a film that probably no one's heard of called The Lunchbox. And it's an Indian film about tiffin delivery services. It's beautiful. So we are making lunchboxes, Indian lunchboxes full of curry. I say making. I'm going to buy the stuff, and Doug is going to cook it. And then we're going to watch that and RRR, which is an incredible Indian film, which has got a famous dance that happens at the Oscars. You can watch it on the Oscars. They do it, and it's amazing. And we're gonna watch that, and we might also play Critter Kitchen because it's food themed.
I love your movie nights. All I did for a movie night recently is we were in Andromeda's Edge Endgame, and I decided to watch Endgame, the movie.
I mean, that's still really.
I mean, that was a theme. I decided, you know what, I'm in the mood. So I like watched a bunch of Avengers movies up to it, and then like got to Endgame. When we got to Endgame, it was really fun.
I like to do seasonal things as well. Like at some point, I'll watch all of Twilight, even though it is so bad, it's good, and just like eat food and watch that because it's rainy season.
If there's a different stream link for the backpack reveal, there is.
Yeah, it'll be on the same channel, so you just need to come back in 10 minutes, and it'll say that we're live, and it's already like in our. If you click in lives, it's right there.
And we'll see you there.
And I've also linked it on the Instagram stories as well. So.
All right, cheers, everybody. We'll see you.
See you soon. See you soon.
Bye.